What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here helping you take your game to the next level, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you a tough passing play that's hard to stop in Madden 18. Now if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Make sure to hit the bell icon so that you join the notification squad and never miss an upload. So what's up, guys? Like I said, I'm going to be showing you a tough passing play today, and kind of more so like a bit of a concept, if you will, that's good this year, that you can actually use in a bunch of plays. The play I want to look at today is in the bunch open tight end. I'm actually in the Bills playbook. I know that this formation is in the Seattle playbook, I believe, as well, and it's definitely in a few others. So if you know of other playbooks that this is in, please drop it in the comments below, just to help everybody else out. The play I want to look at is wide trail. So we're gonna set this up to really force our opponent to have to choose, what they really want to take away, and if they're going to just allow us to eat them up underneath all game. So what I like to do is first and foremost block the running back. I want to smart route the tight end because his corner route just runs too deep. It's going to be better for us if we smart route him. To do that, you hit wire triangle, you select his icon, and then you hit RB or R1 depending on what system you're on. And then the last thing I'm going to do is take the A wide receiver and drag him, and we're going to motion him over. Now, the concept of the dual drags and motioning them over, you see this in tournament play, especially from like bunch week or gun bunch. It's not called bunch week anymore, it's just called gun bunch. You see a lot of people doing this, and it's frustrating to defend at times because you can take the drags all day. If you don't play underneath coverage, you could take either drag all day, and a user can't guard both drags. He has to kind of pick one or try to bait you. But if he doesn't play underneath, that's when you hit him with deep routes. So any plays that have like corners and posts, if you put dual drags on the play, it's really gonna frustrate the user defender because he has to watch out for the drags. But if you have like posts and corners running behind that drag, it just makes it a pain to defend. So here we're gonna go against cover 4 hard flat look, so that will take the drags away. We can quick pass this corner route, and that's why I like to smart route him, because if we let him run his regular deep corner, we're not going to be able to quick pass him. If we try to pass him, the cornerback's going to be able to jump it for an interception. But because we smart route him, we're able to quick pass it, just bullet pass it right when he cuts, and then just possession catch it to get down. And then we also have the post running over the top like this. So why this is tough? So that's underneath coverage. So say they don't want to give up some of these big plays, so they play cloud flat coverage, right? And they're going to maybe the post is still going to get open a lot of times, even if you're not playing underneath. Because of the way it cuts, it's still going to get in front of the safety. So here we're playing cloud flat coverage, and we can still hit the post. So the post is something you're almost forcing your opponent to use a guard. And when they do that, like let's say they're playing cloud flat coverage, that'll take away the corner. And then at this point, you're forcing them to choose. Are they going to use the drags or are they going to use the post? Because both drags will get open if you're not playing underneath coverage. Because these deep routes are pulling everything back. So we hit the drag, and you see we get 6. Could have maybe got 7 or 8 yards, but we got 6, which is fine. When you're running a drag route, if you're getting 5 yards plus, you're doing okay. So, okay, they can't do that. Now let's say, they put some extra zones over there maybe to try to help stop that, but then you have the drag that's running to the other side of the field, and you have that corner route pulling those zones back. So this drag just went for almost 10 yards. So they have to play underneath coverage to stop the drags. That's the problem. But when they play underneath coverage, that opens up 2 deep routes, and they can't take away both. These are the type of concepts that's really hard to defend this year out of any coverage, especially when you have the drag that's the one that runs from the B receiver from right to left. Like, it runs so perfectly with that post route that even if the user wanted to jump down on that drag and then try to bait the post, it's hard to bait it because you really have to kind of commit to one route or the other. Makes it very hard to defend. Now, a cover 3 will defend that post a little bit better, especially if you got like the Seahawks. Now, if you have lesser, skilled safeties out there, then the post is going to work versus everything. But if you're going against like the Seahawks, cover 3 will defend the post pretty decently, and that's the only coverage that really will do it. Like there, it got wide open. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Sometimes cover 3, if you got like Earl in the deep third, who's a little bit better than Cam, sometimes he will be able to play that. So you just have to be mindful of who, what kind of safeties you're going against. and see, when you run the play. If the safeties are drifting really far back, then you're good. But if they're a little bit close, you might not want to throw that. The corner route is going to work the same way against cover 3 and a hard flat look. You quick pass it. They might get close and try to make a play on it, but they won't be able to. So now we'll go cover 3 cloud flat, and you'll see we're going to have the same thing. So if they're trying to go cloud flat, because that'll help take away, the corner, and then they might use the post. But then again, you still have the dual drags, and we got hit with the block shed there. But you saw we had both drags open, and that's what's tough to defend. This is especially tough for Tampa 2, which is becoming like the hottest defense right now. Everybody's running Tampa 2 and, putting the linebacker deep over the middle. But really the best way to beat Tampa 2 is dual drags, because no one's going to play hard flat Tampa 2. You're rarely going to see that. And this concept, like you could see here, we got 10 yards before contact, and then we broke the tackle and got 3 extra yards against a Tampa 2. And that's what's frustrating about Tampa 2, or about this concept versus Tampa 2, because Tampa 2 is pretty much going to take away everything on the field, the way people are setting it up, and they're going to use her over the middle. It's going to take away everything but the dual drags, or like a quick flat route. But the drags are better because they develop a little bit later. If you just throw a quick flat route, yeah, you can get 3.5 to 5 yards pretty consistently, just depending on how good the cornerback is. But you can dink and dunk, but you might take a hit stick. It's a little riskier. But when you have dual drags versus Tampa 2, they develop a little bit later in the play, so those cloud flats are a lot further back. And he came up there for a nice hit, and you could still get hit stick, but you're going to get more than 5 yards against Tampa 2 with dual drags every single time. And that's what's frustrating when someone wants to sit in Tampa 2 all game. If you're willing to take dual drags all game, you're gonna move the ball. You're gonna have to force them to play underneath coverage. But then again, they play underneath coverage. You have corner route, and you still have the post route. If they don't put somebody deep over the middle, that post route's gonna be there all day. And even sometimes if they do put somebody over the deep middle, you can still hit the post route, because it's not a super deep post route. It cuts a little shorter. So you saw how good the drags were against cover 2. Now I'm gonna show the post route, of course, because as that gets over the middle, the safeties, even though those are the best safeties in the game, they're still splitting out way too far. That corner route's going to pull Earl Thomas, and the post route's going to get in front of Cam Chancellor. So we'll go cover 2 here, and we'll drop the middle linebacker deep. And Wagner's one of the best, middle linebackers, one of the best zone coverage guys, high play recognition. So if anybody's going to play a post well, it's going to be him. But you'll see that he's going to run too far back a lot of times. It's a little risky of a throw. It's a tight fit, but most linebackers aren't going to make the play. As you see, you're going to be able to fit it in front of him, because he's going to run too far back. So even when they're running the Tampa 2 that stops almost everything but the drags, you still have the post. So you're forcing the user to have to worry about the post, and he's still got to worry about the drags. So this is especially good for people that love to sit in Tampa 2 all game. You can really, force them to over adjust is what you're going to have to do, because just sitting in a Tampa 2 and using, they have too much to account for. So now we're going to look at man, which is something you don't see much. I mean, man defense isn't terrible this year by any means, but you're just not going to see it as much as zone. Obviously the drags are going to be good versus man, especially the one you motion, because it's going to get a free release. And that's another reason why the dual drags with the motion is so popular this year. Is like, the wide receivers get pressed a lot more this year than they have in years past, and this motion is going to always give him a free release, which is super beneficial to the offense. The post route, unless you have like a super good man coverage corner there like Talib or Harris, even still the post, if you have a good wide receiver there, the post is still going to cook man. And Kelvin Benjamin's not like the greatest route runner, greatest wide receiver on the game. Like if you have Antonio Brown there, or Julio or Odell, they're beating everybody regardless. But if you don't have a good cornerback there, I mean, you could put any wide receiver here and it's going to dust man coverage every time, along with the drag. So this is a play that it really puts a lot of strain on the user, because there's too much he has to worry about. It beats all the popular defenses, and of course if you mix other plays in with the formation, you mix the run in and so on and so forth. Don't get too predictable with it. then it becomes that much harder to stop. And you can implement that dual drag technique into anything. Like I said, you see people run out of gun bunch. You can, do it out of shotgun tight, but you probably wouldn't motion because you already have, 2 guys on each side. So you can just run 2 drags, and you might have a post in a corner. You can do it out of so many formations. It's the same concept. You have a post and you have corners and you have dual drags, and that's going to force the user to have to pick and choose, and you force him to over adjust, make him think a little bit more. So this was a play I wanted to break down that I really like, but also kind of show you the concept. It's really good, especially against Tampa 2, which I know a lot of y'all are struggling with. So implement it into your game, see what it can do for you, and I think you'll find a lot of success with it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.